Canon 7. If any bishop or presbyter or deacon celebrate the holy day of Easter before the vernal equinox with the Jews, let him be deposed. Apostolic Canon 64, 70, 71. Canon 11 of 6th Council. Canon 1 Antioch Council. 37, 38 of Laodicea. 60, 81, 117 of Carthage. Interpretation. The sun passed through two equinoxes during the year, one in the springtime and the other in the season of autumn. They are called equinoxes because the day is then equal to the night and, conversely, the night is equal to the day. The autumnal equinox occurs during September when the sun is entering the first division of the zodiac, called Libra, for example the balance. Not of the starry and sensible one, but of the starless and supersensible one. The vernal or spring equinox, on the other hand, occurs in the month of March, when the sun is entering the first sign of the zodiac, called Aries. For example, the ram. Not of the sensible and starry one, which is really variable, but of the supersensible and starless one, which is really invariable, according to astronomers. Well, this vernal equinox, because of an irregularity of the sun's course in its motion from west to east, does not occur always on one and the same day, but in the time of the Holy Apostle it was on the 22nd day of the month of the Drystrus, or March, according to the injunction of the same apostles. Book 5, chapter 17. Or, according to others, on the 23rd, whereas at the time of the First Ecumenical Council it was on the 21st day of March, according to Sebastus and others. And now in our time it occurs in 11th, or even the 10th nearly of March, for according to the older astronomers, Ptolemy and others, the equinox descends a full day of 24 hours in the course of a little over 300 years. But according to modern astronomers, it descends the space of a day and night in 134 years, as appears on page 540 of the Tome of Love. These facts having already become known, the present apostolical canon ordains that any bishop or presbyter or deacon that celebrates Holy Easter before the equinox of spring, with the legal Passover of the Jews, is to be deposed from office, for even among the Jews the wisest and most learned ones observed the celebration of Passover and at the time of the equinox, according to Blasteris, just as Moses had enjoined it, but the less refined ones celebrated before the equinox in accordance with the present canon. And consequently they celebrate Passover twice in the same year, as is made plainly evident in the letter Emperor Constantine concerning Easter, which is to be found in Book 1 of the history written by Theodoret, chapter 10, or 9 according to others. But when is this performed? After equinox, that is to say, and after the legal Passover. After the equinox, of course, because the equinox, because of its being in a measure dividing the whole year into two halves, in case we celebrate Easter before the equinox, will make us observe Easter twice in the same year, and in that event we should consequently be marking the death of the Son of God twice. But if we celebrate it after the equinox, we observe but one Easter, and consequently denounce but one death of Christ. That is why the apostles themselves, in their injunction, Book 5, chapter 17, say the following: Brethren, you must fix the days of Easter accurately, with all diligence, after the turn of the equinox, and not commemorate one suffering twice a year, but once a year him who died but once. Again, after the Passover of Jews, for one thing, in order to have the type of, or more plainly speaking, the slaughter of the lamb precede and have what is typified, or more plainly speaking, the death and resurrection of the Lord afterwards follow. And for another thing, in order not to celebrate it on any other day of the week, as the Jews celebrate Passover on any day that happens to be the 14th of the moon, but always on a Sunday, and the apostles also say in the same place. On this account, moreover, whenever it so happens that the legal Passover falls on a Sunday, we do not celebrate Easter on that day, but on Sunday next thereafter, to avoid celebrating along with the Jews. For even according to the very truth of the matter, it was then that the Jews first celebrated their Passover, and the resurrection of the Lord occurred afterwards. The Easter which we now celebrate every year, serving as a figure to remind us of it. Concord. Not only does Apostle Canon 70 ordain that we must not celebrate with the Jews, but so does also Canon 37 and 38 of Laodicea. But neither must we even pray together with them, according to Apostolic Canon 65, nor take oil to their synagogues, according to Apostolic Canon 71. Canon 1 of Antioch, in fact, deposes those in holy order who fail to keep the definition of the first council concerning Easter, but celebrate it with the Jews. Canon 60, 81, and 117 of Carthage ordain, with reference to the date of Easter, when it is to be found and where it is to be written, and to be announced to others. Canon 11 of the Sixth Council even goes so far as to prohibit a Christian from calling the Jews for medical treatment or bathing with them.